There's been a kidnapping in Charmden. One of our fairies has been taken by a big dick and fine-ass warlock with a grudge and a magical staff to back it up. But before I make any declarations, we need to decide one thing. Can Eboenia keep her warlock king? Or does he need to be locked away in the dungeons of Fate Court forever? So here's a little backstory before we head to Fate Court. The night before her sacred wedding ceremony, Eboenia slips away with her Fae sisters. One last night in the human world before she's bound to a man she doesn't love. A few clubs, a few drinks, and then him. A man so fine, she almost forgets she's engaged. She contemplates having a little fun before her wedding, but then decides against it. Her fiancé is an elf who's traditional, controlling, and does not like her sneaking into the human world. But then the wedding day comes, and guess who crashes it while dripping in gold chain? War, the same man from the club the night before. But he's not just any man, he's a warlock. And from the moment he shows up, everything changes. Welcome back to the Softest Read Court. I'm your fairy queen, Jasmine, and today we're putting War on trial. He came into Ebonia's life uninvited and marked her body without permission and cursed her to crave his touch. And now that she has fallen for him, I need to see if the other girls can agree. Is War a book babe worth claiming and fighting for? Or is he a villain in disguise? Court is in session. Charge 1. Kidnapping with intent to seduce. War is a wizard, warlock, who lives in another world called Charm City. He and his warriors invade worlds and protect the earthly realm from creatures that do harm. When War broke into Charmden, which is where the fairies and elves live amongst each other, it was during Ebonia's sacred ceremony to bond with Sin, an elf she's known forever. And while she was exactly head over heels for Sin, and y'all would have to read the story to figure out why, of course, it was still her choice to marry Sin. But War took that choice away when he kidnapped her. He read her mind the moment he saw her and discovered she was turned on by his power, his confidence, and his fine-ass physique. Instead of backing off or speaking up, he let her thoughts justify everything that came next. He murdered a lot of people. He grabbed her mid-ceremony and took her to his world. Once they were in his world, War is over here trying to immediately assert control, physically and magically. When she fought back, he used her own body against her. When I tell y'all, he pressed against her clit while teasing her, mocking her reactions, and teasing her with this little nickname, Lord Pussy Fairy. He tossed her against the walls, whispered threats in her ear, and reminded her that her body wanted him whether she admitted it or not. This was not quite romance. This was a calculated power grab dressed in dominance and desire. The verdict is out. War is guilty. Guilty because he did not need her words when her thoughts gave him the answer he wanted. But taking action on someone's arousal without consent is still a violation. It was control that was wrapped up in erotic and toxic big dick energy. And that's exactly why he's on trial today. Charge 2. Magical coercion. War interrupted Ebonia's life. He took over her body's desires. After kidnapping her, she began to fight back against him. And to stop her from fighting him, he put a curse on her that made her crave his touch. Her arousal and wetness around him confused her so much. Like, sis was feeling this way before he had kidnapped her, but it was intensified even after the curse. He would get on her nerves and that would turn her on. He would say something crazy and that would make her nipples harden. He would push her up against the wall and threaten her, and she would be creaming, okay? Like, she was just so turned on by everything he did. There was no wrong that War did in her eyes. Like, this man was sexy as fuck. Everything he did was just erotic. Now, Eboenia did not know if her feelings was triggered by a natural buildup because she did find him attractive. Or was this an emotional connection because she would see moments where he would be soft with her? But we do know that a lot of it was triggered by that magical bond that he forced on her without her permission. And this curse also changed everything about her physical appearance, where once before her skin was very colorful and bright, her skin grew dark and it became black, which black is beautiful, period. But her skin turned black, her fingernails turned black, her wings turned black. Like, her whole image changed just to fit War's. Eventually, she does grow a bond with War and learns to accept her fate because despite it all, he grows a soft spot for her and he teaches her things she had not known before about her life and her ancestry. And he helps her grow and learn how to fight and be independent and to low-key be his life partner, his pussy fairy. This nickname is cute as fuck, but it comes with so much power that binds her to him for life. Every time she fights, her body betrays her. Like I said, her nipples are hardening, her thighs are clenching, and he is just marveling in this. Like, he finds this so funny. And this is just further boosting his ego. He loves that he can control her. He loves that she's melting underneath his gaze and underneath his touch. And for that, because War has used his power, his magic, and his aggression to magically coerce her into being his life partner for life against her will, he is guilty. Charge 3, hotness in the 3rd degree. Ooh. Now, let's be honest, y'all. War is sexy as hell, okay? He's tall, he's masked, he's muscular, and he's dangerous. His voice is super deep. His magic is deadly. He walks around like he owns every space he walks in. Y'all. And the way he looks at Eboenia. Ooh. Get it together, girl. He's fictional. It'll make your thighs clench too. War makes Eboenia walk around naked, okay? He's infatuated with how she looks. He's not only infatuated with her beauty, but he toys with her during the most vulnerable moments. He touches her with confidence and power, like her pleasure is just for his control. And he actually tells her a couple of times throughout the story that her pleasure doesn't matter. She's here strictly for him and his pleasure only. And as wrong as that sounds, y'all, it works in this world. The power and balance makes this fantasy so fucking high. It's dark, it's erotic, it's a full body experience. So the verdict is out. War is guilty. He's guilty, but that kind of sexy dominant energy is why I stayed up until 4 o'clock in the morning, reading, smiling, and rubbing my fairy wings together. On to the spice report. This book wastes no time with the spice, okay? The spice hits us early and hard. War doesn't do soft. He dominates and he commands and he ruins Eboenia with every touch. The scenes are nasty. He restrains her. He teases her until she begs. He reads her thoughts while she's mid-orgasm, just to remind her that he owns every part of her. It's not gentle or sweet. It's rough, messy, and intense. And somehow the fact that she fights it only makes it hotter. Let's read a few scenes, because, yeah, they're hot. Fairies, gather around, as I read a scene that exemplifies his power over our good fairy sis. He pulled away from my breast, locking eyes with me as he entered me again. Tears slid down my cheek while he rocked me into the bedding. Open your mouth, he ordered. And like his good little pussy fairy, desperate to please, the honey he sucked from my breast spilled off his lip, dripping down my throat as he watched with lust-filled eyes. With every bounce of my titties, nectar trickled out, glistening in the moonlight, evidence of how much he owned me. The next scene. Fairies, gather round, gather round. Listen to this. Straddle my face, his voice blasted inside my head. He scooped me up from underneath my legs, bringing me closer, my wet lips hovering right over his mouth. He wasted no time. His tongue flicked out, slurping up the slickness of my flower. Ooh, you know how to make it feel so good, I moaned out. The pressure he put on my butt made my legs shake uncontrollably. Fairies, let's get ourselves together. Let's get ourselves together. Settle down, settle down. War's tongue darted against my clit, plucking at it before he suckled again, sending jolts of pleasure through my entire body. My head fell back, mouth open, as my whole body started to tremble. Go ahead and come. I know you want to because your pussy's gripping my tongue. Fairies, let's keep it together. Let's keep it together, girls. Let's keep it together. And at this point, I started to reminisce about that man I had no business thinking about. Guilty. Guilty for the hotness in the 3rd degree because this man is so sexy. And rough with it. What fairy doesn't like a little dominance? I mean, we're just a girl, you know? Just a fairy girl. Now I know you may be wondering, did War show any care? Because what you have heard here today paints him as aggressive, ruthless, and possessive. But let's tell the full truth. War didn't just kidnap Eboenia and use her for pleasure. He trained her, he taught her how to use her power, how to defend herself, and why her world wasn't as pure as she believed it to be. Every move he made was part of a bigger plan for revenge. War wanted justice, and he believed that Eboenia was strong enough to help him carry out that mission. Yes, he cursed her, he marked her, but he also showed her the truth, taught her how to fight, and reminded her she wasn't just someone's bride. She was powerful. She was chosen. The verdict is out. It's complicated. The care was there, but it was buried underneath a lot of power and pain. War, he does not love Eboenia gently. He loves her in the only way he knows how. Final verdict, book bait or menace. Let's not lie to ourselves. War is guilty on all counts. He's toxic, ruthless, and uses magic like a weapon of seduction and control. But here's the thing. Even through the curse, the teasing, and all the rough-handed dominance, a part of her wanted it. A part of us wanted it too. So yes, War is a menace, but he's also a book bae. My new Warlock book bae. And if our good sis Eboenia hadn't already snatched him up, or him snatching her up, I would have served myself up on a silver platter too, baby. Let me be your little pussy fairy. So final call. War is guilty, but he can stay. So what do you think? Would you survive a warlock like War? Would you fall for him, or would you fight back harder than Eboenia did? Y'all, I had so much fun reading this book. Like, Natavia always quenches my paranormal romance thirst, okay? And she gives me, I love a good toxic male character. Who doesn't? Who's sexy, full of beauty, energy. Like, y'all. I need a War in my life to rough me up a little bit, even if it's just temporary. I don't need him to be a boyfriend. I just need a little fun. You know, summer's almost over. Maybe I can get me a little summer fling in. You know, I need me a War. Y'all, who else do I need to put on trial for either being a book bae or a menace in these book streets? Okay, just write them in the comments. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today over here at the Softest Read. Keep turning those pages, reading romance, smut, and these book baes. And I will see y'all next time. Mwah.